Welcome everybody to another investing live stream. We're going to jump right into deal analysis today. We're going to start with some deal analyses that are in escrow deals. So I'm excited to check these out with y'all. And yeah, hey, thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the live chat. I'll respond to live chat questions as well. But we'll go ahead and start right now with our first one is Jeff has a property that he just got into escrow. It looks like it's going to be a duplex. Duplex with tenants at below market rents and good opportunity for some cosmetic improvements to appreciate. Let's go ahead and look at this. We actually so sorry, Jeff. We looked at Jeff's deal last time. Let me just give a quick summary of it though, since you are here and maybe you didn't remember. We looked at Jeff's deal here, and we analyzed this specific deal. That's right. I remember doing the deal analysis on this now. And one of the things we mentioned was there was actually a lot of opportunity to really clean up the front here, and especially the chicken wire fence. Possibly doing away with this and cleaning up this front yard, mostly because people want to feel like they're able to come home to something that they're prideful of, even when they're tenants. And having this sort of, trampoline that the neighbor has, and sort of this curb appeal, is a little less desirable than it could be. So I think there was some room for improvement there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sod either. There are a lot of different things you can do by combining mulch, gravel, drought-tolerant planting, since this is in California after all. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our some more deals here that we've got. We've got plenty to go through today, so I'm excited to go through these. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. All right. So, what do we have for this? We've got deal. Sorry, one second here. We're going to scroll to where we left off. So, in the meantime, folks, interest rates, they're still bobbing around pretty low levels, which is pretty incredible. If you haven't gotten your pre approval letter yet, make sure to do that. And here we go. So, we're on to this wedge deal, which we can pull up here. And this deal is posted by, what do we got here? This is posted by, hi, my name is Brad. Hi, my name is. So we're going to tag him quickly here, responding at 4 min into today's live. All right, let's do it. So here we go. This property, let's see here. This property is built in 1894. And this particular property, I think we analyzed this one as well. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I totally feel like we responded to that one as well. I just want to make sure, like, I don't want to miss anybody. No, I didn't. Okay, I didn't respond to that one. I looked at the deal. That's right. I looked at the deal and I asked Brad some follow-up questions because I read these, and I asked Brad some follow-up questions because the first thing I did is I looked at the location, and we're going to look at that again right now as well. Let me just quickly see if Brad responded. Brad has not come back to respond yet. Okay, no problem. So the first question I had here is, how much noise does he get at this particular corner? Because it's a little bit concerning to me that, first of all, we've got parking lots, we've got commercial developments, we've got the church right next door. So you're at the corner of basically a church and two busier streets with another church across the street. And I really wanted to find out what the noise levels would be in this area, because initially, to me, it's a little bit more of a risky investment anytime you're sort of straying from what's normal. And so we always want to ask ourselves, what is normal when we're investing in real estate? Is it a property that's on busy roads, or is it that single family 3-bedroom 2-bath house that's in the middle of a neighborhood? Or is it that duplex, triplex, fourplex on a row of 50 other duplexes in a particular area by the college in town or something like that? Those are, in my opinion, more ideal because those are easier to resell and easier to rent because people aren't looking at the map wondering, whoa, wait a minute, like what's happening here? So that is my first concern with this property. Now, even if in this particular case, everything about the location was fine, the second thing that concerns me about this deal is it's built in 1894. So here's some of the pictures of the inside. So we've got some cosmetic work to do. It's older and it's not in the best location. And it's a, yeah, well, let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, 15, 20, 25, 12 square feet. It's also, a little bit on the larger side. for this age as well, and for a tenant that's probably going to be above the median square footage. So I think there are a lot of things sort of pushing against this particular property. Now, as far as the condition, it's definitely wedgy. Now, the big thing that I would want to know on this particular property is the age of the electrical, plumbing, and the foundation. Foundation is probably going to be the most important thing I'm concerned about. But as far as like the condition look itself, yeah, I mean it's dated, and that's probably going to be wedgy. But I'm think I'm too concerned with the other elements regarding location. And Brad, I really want to hear your reply on location. So, and the fact that I don't have a listing price for this one makes it a little bit harder as well. So, get back to me with a listing price and some comments on this location. But initially, not super jumping up and down about this one, Brad. So let's go on over and see if we can find another wedge deal. So I believe we are now on to let's see here. Brad, we looked at yours. Okay, I think we're on to Anlonzo and Lozano. That's it. There we go. Responding around, and then I'm going to do some live stream questions here as well. 8 men into live today. So this is coming to us from Texas. I'll share screen here in just a sec. Tag. Okay, perfect. So here we've got a Texas deal. Okay, see this I initially I already like. Now this is a problem. Couple problems. So the first thing I looked at here was I saw that this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,239 square feet, which I like. But the problem is it's actually listed as a duplex. And now I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's a problem because does that mean each side is 600 square feet? Or does that mean it's a duplex, okay, it's a duplex single family is what it is. So let me explain that really quick. They shouldn't have listed it as a duplex. I mean, maybe that's how they do it in that area. But here's the thing. You have duplexes. There are a few different types. You've got a duplex, which is you buy a property and you get 2 units, you get 2 tenants. Then there's a duplex, which is an attached single family house. Those usually sell for substantially less than the other comps in the area. So you could actually get screwed by thinking you're getting a wedge deal on a sort of attached house duplex because you're looking at the wrong comps. You can only comp these against other attached wall duplexes. And then there are duplexes in like New York when it's kind of like a 2-level property. Now, because this one's pending, I'm not going to go much further into it because it does show as pending and you did not post in deal analysis. I will tell you though, the fact that this is literally, on the corner of Main Street, because this is it. Is it the interior corner? 124. It looked like on the map. Wait, 124. Oh, wait, maybe no. So 103 is yours. 103. Oh, look at that. See, that's Main Street right there. So yours is technically the second one in. I mean, at least it's not the corner one, but that's a busy street right here, and you're right at the front of this neighborhood. I guess you could call that like being half a house in, half a lot in. I don't know. But yeah, half flex, right? Yeah, exactly. It's half of a single, right? Almost. So yeah, that would concern me a little bit. I'm gonna stop on that one though, and we're gonna move on, mostly because you have not posted in escrows, and because it's pending, we're gonna skip from there. And quite frankly, I'm not so jazzed about it anyway. So we've got another one here. We're gonna respond to Tate's deal. Tate. Oh, I said I would do some questions live. Let me do Tate's really quick, and then we'll do some live questions. Tate responding around, I'm gonna do some catching up here, responding around 10 men in. So let's grab Tate's deal and then screen share here what we've got. So let's see here. Yeah, with the exception of Brad's, I always look at these the first time with you. So you get sort of my first reaction. Love the look of it. It's pending though, so another one that we are not going to go deep in because Tate, if you got this deal, post in deal analysis escrows that you got the deal. But otherwise, we'll just do a quick glance here. Let's compare though. Oh, I know where this is. Isn't this right outside? This is right outside Austin. Yeah. This is a really sort of up and coming area because Austin's so expensive. A lot of people are investing up here, and they've got a lot of new construction going on. And a lot of these areas over here have a ton of new construction. So this is probably some of that new construction. When was this built? I mean, it looks pretty dang new, right? 2005. Okay, well, that's fine. That could be a more developed neighborhood, so you would know if, how solid the neighborhood has developed. Not a fan of those black painted cabinets. Those are like the oak cabinets, and somebody basically espresso painted them. And I think it's unfortunately a little bit like too dark for this particular kitchen. It kind of downgrades the quality of the property a little bit. But the rest of the property, I mean, yeah, same thing here. I don't think there's much you could really complain about because it's relatively newer. Not sure how good the carpet's going to be. Wow, look at the delamination on the mirror right here. Put some baseboard around that and call it a day. It's a cheap fix for that, by the way. But I mean, yeah, otherwise, nice house. Uh, sorry to see that went pending, but it looks like it was on the market for 19 days. I do like that area though, so keep hunting. Post some more deals. I want to do some more in that area. All right, let's do some live streams here. Let's see. Let's go from the top here. So that's awesome, Brian. Do you want some more streaming? I wonder why. I don't look tired. Thank you for that. No hangover. Okay, is there a spreadsheet or app you use to track your properties? What work has been done to them, and how much so you can calculate your ROI? It's something that to me, the way I calculate. I mean, one of the things I talk about in the lectures is actually purposefully not calculating ROI. That's not to say I don't do it, but I think it's a problem to hang your hat so heavily on ROI because to me, your focus should be finding wedge deals and then you set aside $200 a month. And if every time something came up, like we just had a garage door go out, and this is going to be a little bit more of an expensive garage door. It's like $1,700 that it's going to cost to fix it. And I just have to look at it and say, no problem. It's part of the $200 per month budget. But if I kept trying to calculate every little penny that went into every single deal and track these so meticulously, so I could tell people I got a 12.3% return here, a 17% return over here, or whatever, it's a waste of time because to me the value is in the buy, it's in the equity build and the long-term hold. Whatever repairs come up, $200 a month. So I'll calculate my returns initially after my initial renovation. Then I go into the $200 per month phase. Talk to me in 30 years. Usually I don't like to calculate returns. Another thing too is, returns should be calculated over a period of time, which is difficult to do when you're looking at real estate sort of in a short-term scope because you could say, oh, well, prices in New York fell from 18 to 19. Therefore, real estate had a negative ROI. And then you just get discouraged and you don't want to continue looking for wedge deals. I think that's a mistake. Whereas, okay, sure, New York may have had a 1 year blip here. And that may trend downwards another year or so in terms of Manhattan here, luxury real estate market. But what's the trajectory for the next 30 years for Manhattan? I'm not too concerned about it, right? I would always be looking to insulate myself though, because that's the other nice thing about getting wedge deals. You buy something, you get yourself $100,000 in equity day one because you bought a $450,000 fixer up or whatever, or even if it's $50,000 as a wedge, whatever it is. The nice thing about that is, all of the little gyrations get softened because you've built up such a reserve, so to speak. All right, let's see what we've got. Looking at Mystery Traveler, have you posted that in deal analysis? Fourplex for 725K, rents for $4,500 a month, been on the market for 5.5 months. There have been offers turned down because it was too low. One buyer could not qualify. Makes sense at 575. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other problem that you're going to run into with any kind of multifamily is oftentimes the sellers aren't super motivated because they have tenants paying the rent. So what motivation do they have to drop the rent, right? Or, I'm sorry, to drop the price. They may as well just keep collecting the rent. So let me write that down really quickly. It's actually just an interesting concept that I've talked about many times before. But hold on one sec. No motivation. Yeah, no motivation and negotiation is what I wrote down in negotiation. And that's something to keep in mind. Multifamily, commercial real estate, usually very little motivation to negotiate down on you or with you. How do I start investing in properties? Yeah, Timothy, first thing I would do is go through as much as you can of this content. But really, once you're ready and you've got your job, or even before you're ready, build your circle and follow the steps of building the circle and getting your pre-approval letter. That's going to get you really in there. Anybody that says they're having trouble starting and they don't yet have the pre-approval letter, you got to take the elephant in small bites. You got to start small. So, Denny got his question answered. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna go on to Denorian. Let's go ahead and do another deal here. So Denorian has a deal. Denori, responding at about 16:30. Okay, can you analyze this deal? I'm pre-approved. Perfect. Going to the open house tomorrow. I'm pretty serious about it. Let me know what you think. Thanks in advance. All right, British Columbia multifamily deal. So let's see what we got here. And then I'll go back to the live stream as well and do some questions. Let me just also quickly, let me pop out the chat just to make sure there's nothing crazy going on with no audio problems or anything. Okay, good. Good. So we'll have that popped out here. All right, so here's the deal. Wow, it's $1.8 million for 14 beds. How many? Hold on. Two 4-bedroom suites, two 3-bedroom suites. So it's a fourplex? Did you say it was a fourplex? Hold on, let's look at this. Yeah, I'd want to go to the open house for this as well. So it doesn't say. I want to find out how many units is this? Multifamily. Not a lot of detail here. So 4 kitchens and 4 suites, total of 14 bedrooms. So 4 kitchens, 4 suites. This is interesting. Is it a little grainy there? Hold on, or is that just that monitor? Oh, that's weird. Is it grainy? It looks a little grainy there for me. I don't know why. Let me know if it is. I'll see if I can fix something. But anyway, if it's not grainy, then perfect. It's just on this little monitor here. But let's see here. I think this is a 4-unit property. You know, 1, 2, and then probably 3 and 4 around the back. Basic kind of cosmetic work that it really needs, which is always a bummer on multifamily. You know, they price it to perfection, but then it needs work as well, which always frustrates me. Okay, yeah, then you have 2 other units back here. Okay, so this is a fourplex. Looks good. Okay, good. Thank you. So this is a fourplex for $1.8 million, which is really selling for $450,000 a door. The big thing here is very important. As we always say, make sure to watch the lectures on gross rent multiplier and cap rate. I want you to really pin down what the gross rents are in your area now, and the cap rates, and then we're going to be able to compare here. Now let's go ahead and let's see, do we have rental figures for yours? I don't have rental data for yours either. So anytime you want multifamily, I'm going to have to ask you to give me the rents and any other details you can give me. So Denorian, let me know how your open house went, and then let's talk about it. All right, so Faber, let's jump in here. Faber says, looking to get some guidance and insight into this deal and how to begin and approach a purchase. So it's 5 buildings, 40 units. Well, this is gonna be fun. All right, responding at 19 min in. Scroll up again here. Let's see if we have an address that we could look at as well. So, okay. 5 buildings, 40 units. 1 building is 2-bedroom. Okay, hold on. Let's see. All units currently leased and waiting on list of future leases. Tax amount. The tax asking price 2.9 mil. Okay. Yeah, and JD says, do you have a great commercial agent or broker yet? This is your first step. Couldn't agree more. So the problem here, Faber, is I don't have a lot of good data on yours. I have no idea where it is. I can't look up the location. I can't really look at anything other than what you told me here. So let's start and say you've got a $2.9 million deal that you're looking at. I also don't know what the rents are, but let's do some quick math. If we wanted a $2.9 million deal to return us 5%, let's say, let me show you how quickly and easily we can do this. So let's just go ahead and, you know what, let's do a spreadsheet. Hold on. Yeah, we'll just pop up a simple one, and then we're going to jump into live and do some live chat questions again. So very simply here, if we wanted this deal to return us 2.9 or 5% on our money, well, the first thing we're going to need is we're going to take off our minus expenses. And this is almost certainly going to operate at least 35% expense ratio. So once we take out the expenses, we're going to be at a net operating income. This is your NOI. Net operating income of $1.8 million, which is great. And you should be able to get Solid financing here. It's definitely going to be commercial financing, but that's good. This is what the bank's going to be looking for is the net operating income, subject to the debt service. So this is what your net operating income is. And if you want to return, let's see here. Okay, the other thing we could do, let's do some financing too. Let's see what we could finance this for and how much you're going to need down. Let's do mortgage calculator. Let's grab that really quick. Okay, let's pop back on over to this window here. Give me 1 second. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay, if so, we've got a mortgage calculator that we're going to punch in over here. We're going to do some quick math on this deal. Let's kind of look at what this deal would look like. So, say you've got this hypothetical $2.9 million deal. You want to return, let's say, 5%. As cash flow, sort of to the bottom line. Now you're gonna have debt service as well, but let's just look at it as sort of a 5% yield after your expenses. You're really gonna want to see some solid rent coming in here. About hold on 1 second here. I'm totally mixed up. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second here. This isn't our sorry, 1 second, folks here. We're at a price of $2.9 million. This is not what the rents are. We're not taking expenses off of the price. So we have a price of $2.9 million. If we want this particular property, here we go. If we want this particular property to yield us, let's say a 5% return. Let's go ahead and do some mortgage math first. Let's see what kind of actual math we would be looking at with the deal. So let's do it this way. Let's go down payment. Let's analyze it this way. $2.9 million times 0.35% down. That's probably at least what you're going to need is $1 million down. And this is one of the reasons I always say, folks, hey, look, if you want to buy these larger deals, you're going to need some dough to make this stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of us we kind of get we get excited about these larger multifamily deals, but then we look, okay, well, how are we going to come up with $1 million of money? Well, we say, okay, well, in order to do that, we'll have to come up with, let's say, oh, I don't know, hard money loan for $600,000, or we're going to come up with partnership money or whatever. Usually, if you've got $1 million sitting around, you already know how to analyze these particular deals. But the big thing to me is, we want to see, okay, how can we play with these numbers in general? And then we'll answer some live stream questions here. So let's play with the actual numbers themselves a little bit, and let's just see what we get. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so watch and I'm going to show you something else that's interesting too. If you go with a loan here of, let's say, $1.9 million, and you get financing on this thing at, say, 4.5%, your monthly payment for just principal and interest, not passive income, principal and interest, just that alone on this deal is $9,627. Then let's say you have property taxes you gave us. Let me pull those property taxes quickly again here. Jump back over. Let's see what your property taxes are. And you said your property taxes tax amount is $24,000 a year. And it might get reassessed depending on where it is. So I don't know where it is, but because you gave me the property tax amount, I'm going to guess that you're not going to get reassessed. $24,000 a year is about $2,000 per month. These are all the monthly figures right here. So then we're going to need insurance on this particular property, which a 40-unit deal, I mean, honestly, you're probably looking at a commercial insurance policy of probably at least, I would say at least probably $2,000 on this deal, plus or minus. So now we've got our PITI, but then you're going to also have your management expense. But again, we don't know what the rents are, which, I think it makes it a little backwards when we don't know what the rents are. But let's assume that this is selling for a 15 a 15 gross rent. So if this is selling for 15 times gross rent, that means the rents are $2.9 million of the price divided by a factor of 15. That means our annual rents are $193,000 divided by 12. Look at that. You had $16,000 coming in at a 15 gross rent multiplier. You have $16,000 to work with, but your debt service is $9,600. Property taxes and insurance, you're at $14,000 already. Then you're going to have management. Management on 16,000, that's 1,600 bucks. You can see how quickly even a large multifamily deal can be a break even at 35% down. And that's where I wanted to go with this, is to say, even on some of these multifamily deals, because the people are so reluctant to negotiate, and even using a properly priced, 15 gross rent factor here, if you want a fully amortized loan, there's no cash flow left. Even at 35% down, which if you think about that, like if that's a takeaway that you're thinking to yourself here, like, wait a minute, 35% down on a decently priced multifamily property that is using our factor of 15 times gross, which is generally a decent price. Now all of a sudden you really look at it, you go, yikes, the commercial property expenses can really add up a lot. So that is where another trick comes from that I want to make you aware of. And that's why I'm spending so much time on this. You know what people are doing now is they're going to go over here and they're going to say, okay, you know what we're going to do is rather than spend money on principal as well, what we're going to do is we're going to do this as an interest only loan. So we're going to take out a loan of the $2 million that we had. What did we say? We said $1.9 million, 1.9, and then we're going to do interest only on this, and we'll divide that number by 12. There we go, divided by 12. And there we go. Now you have $2,000 probably maybe spare, because before you're under, and we don't even have vacancy or reserves or things like that on here, right? So you can see how quickly it adds up. But now you're able to generate or squeeze out an extra maybe $2,000 of cash flow per month by going to interest only. But now you're not paying down any of the principal. So a lot of the tricks that I'm seeing right now, because I'm seeing that regularly in the multifamily space, they're kind of bothering me because I don't like owning real estate and not paying the principal down. I don't like putting 35% down on expensive buildings and then barely having a cash flow. So, the numbers would have to be substantially different from this, but just with the information we got, doing some basic assumptions on, using some basic gross rent multipliers for what we're seeing in many of these marketplaces, it's tough to make these things cash flow unless you go interest only. Then you go interest only, and you go, hey, we're cash flowing $3,000 or whatever. We're cash flowing, and we put $1 million down or whatever. Now all of a sudden we can return money to investors, right? So that's where some of the tricks get played. So very, very important to know in the back of your mind. All right, let's do some more live questions here. JD, yeah, no. So I mentioned just sort of in passing, and you can actually see when I jump back over here to the spreadsheet that even in these figures here, I hadn't even put in vacancy or reserves yet because I was already with principal and interest. I was already, when I had it as a principal and interest calculation, this is interest only now. When we had it at principal and interest, we were pretty much already at a break even with nothing for reserves and vacancy or repairs. So, when it was fully amortized, the loan. So sometimes, things get a little bit frustrating with the multifamily, and that's what I wanted to share with these larger deals. So now the numbers could be completely different, and I'll call it out like it is. But something right now that I'm seeing is not only the interest only loans, but I'm seeing a lot of funds are doing about 50% down to get cash flow on these larger deals. So something to keep in mind. Yeah. Jasmine asks, when you don't understand the interest only part. So basically, when you get a 30-year fixed rate loan, like you're doing that cash out refinance, when you do that, you're paying the bank back every single month, principal and interest. So when you look at your loan statement, you'll see like maybe $400 is going towards principal, maybe $1,600 goes to interest. Now that $400 goes to pay off the loan so that one day you own that property free and clear. A lot of these commercial loans now are doing interest only, where you get rid of the ability to pay down well, maybe not the ability, but you get rid of the requirement that you're paying down this $400 a month in principal. Now it feels like you have more cash flow, but you're actually kind of tricking yourself because you're not paying off the property. And then people take the cash flow and they spend it on stuff they shouldn't spend money on. So, those are some important things to keep in mind for multifamily. So Appreciate you rolling with me on that. And sorry for the little hiccup there at the beginning. So, all right, let's continue on here. So we've talked about ROI. We talked about this. We talked about this. But 2 weeks ago, offer accepted yesterday. Diego, that's awesome. That's awesome. Diego, yeah, post your deal and deal analysis. Super cool. We just signed up on Monday through a deal on Discord. That's awesome, Dodger. I'm going to go through some more deal analyses here. Absolutely. First time in. Congratulations, Tyler. A lot of new folks here. So welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and continue analyzing some deals now. I think we've got some good perspective there added. So we're going to go on to Miguel's deal right now. We're just going down the deal analysis so you can see when you'll be next. So Miguel, we're 31 min for your deal. Okay, but hold on a second. Look what Miguel wrote here. Hi, Kevin. Can you analyze this deal? It looks like a great deal, but is a yeah, but because it's on a fairly busy street with a school right across the street. Folks, I know we want the wedge deals, but the way to get the wedge deal is not to do this. Look at this one. That's wow, man. I mean, it's a cute house, right? So let's look at it. It's built in 47. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1420. I love that. Like these specs are great. That I really like. But let's look specifically on the map here. Okay, well, it's kind of like the start of this busier road, but I mean, it's an artery of a road. You got the Chase over here, Auto Zones, Little Caesars coming off the highway, the Executive Airport's over here. Where does this road go? It services these suburbs, so it's not like this busy road right here, which goes through the heart of the city. But yeah, it's probably one of the busiest roads the city has in terms of neighborhood access. It's just not something that makes me super excited. So being across the school, I'm actually not as crazy worried about the school part. And it is a 1-lane road on each side. But yeah, I don't know. Me personally, it wouldn't be a consideration, but let's go ahead and look at a little more detail on this deal. So it's a 3 and 2, 1,400 square feet. Let's just do some quick comps on it and see. The problem is, and remember this, when you analyze these deals, I can only take comps that are actually going to be on this busy road. So basically, I only want things that are going to be on Bachman here. Let's pull our sold comps. There we go. Sold. Okay. And I really only want whatever. I'll find singles. So I want anything that is sold on the busy road. And then let's see if there's a wedge potential here. So hold on. There we go. Okay. So yours, this is interesting. So look at this. This is very interesting. Why is that one so cheap? What am I missing here? Because look at this. This place is listed for $700,000. Sorry, sold for $700,000. May of 2019. Recent comp on the same busy road, built in 1947, sold for 700 grand. Your deal is listed for $455,000. Wow, that's crazy cheap. At least comparing to that one comp. And I mean, the condition looks just like the perfect wedge. This is an easy one. Okay, so let's keep going on here. I don't like the little patio room. I would probably get rid of that patio room right there. But this is very fascinating. So $700,000 comp, and it doesn't even have the half bath, it looks like. Then you've got another comp right here for $597,000 in 2017. Why is this so cheap? I think they're just purposefully underpricing this or something, because these are comps on the busy street right across the school, and they're selling for a really good price. Here's another one, $650,000 in 2017. This has to go into like crazy overbid or something, because even though it's on the street, this place is honestly probably worth, based on these comps, fixed up, it could be worth $700,000 even though it's on that street, which is mind-blowing. Why? Why is it that these other properties are selling, off busy roads? Like, what is this? $233,000? What kind of comp is that? This is the most confusing area ever. Like, are there like affordable housing restrictions on this? But this is good for you to see as well, because look at this. Why is this place sell in July for $233,000? Not on the busy road. But then you have these expensive comps selling for 598, $700,000, and there was another like 650 or something comp over here, over this way. And yours is listed for 455. Something weird is going on in this neighborhood, in this particular area here, that is going to explain the difference between these comps, because that's odd. And this is where you're going to want the local expert that's going to be able to look and say, oh, well, that's because that $233,000 sale was an affordable housing sale and it couldn't be rented out, or it's because of this, or it's because of that. Weird, because the comps on that particular street look good. This will probably go into overbid, which is a style in this part of California where they do that. But that does make me a little bit concerned that we have that 233. But otherwise, the comps look good. So, all right, figure out the 233. Otherwise, comps are good. Looks like a good deal. And who knows? Maybe the street's not as busy as it looks. In California, how much should I be using as a down payment to calculate cash flow? I mean, the Bay Area, to get cash flow out in the Bay Area, I mean, you're probably going to have to put, somewhere around, you know, uh, gosh, in the Bay Area, it depends. I mean, a lot of people will Airbnb or house hack in the Bay Area because the prices are so high. Rents haven't really caught up there yet. So you get this sort of thing where prices can shoot up and rents kind of take a while to go up with it. So Ashley Matthews, we've moved them to a little bit later in the day, tentatively. They kind of move around a little bit, but they're always on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with the exception of today's. This is the first time I've ever done a deal analysis live stream on a Wednesday. Kevin, well, in between deals, what should we do in the downtime? Yeah. So to me, the biggest thing you could do is really continue to get educated. And you could also go through the whole collection of live streams that we have. That'll really, really help you out a lot. So let's see here. Okay. Other questions. And then we're going to do some more deals. I know the neon sign's off. You gotta turn that. Okay. I'm from Iceland. The mortgage rates here are quite different. We don't have fixed for 30. That's normal. So pretty much anywhere else around the world, you're only going to get fixed year terms between 5 to 10 years. And the longer of a term you want, the more of an interest rate you pay. That's okay. I personally would recommend, hey, take that 5 to 7 year. If you can get a 7 to 10 year fixed, I'd prefer that over a 5 year. But if you're stuck with a 5, hey, you know what? Is what it is, right? So, but that's okay. So let's keep going here. All right, we've got Miguel's we looked at. What? Okay, hold on. What is this? If all else is the same, which would you take? Oh, that's a really fascinating. That's a really good question here. See, Bobby says 1,400 square foot house that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 1,700 square foot house that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So usually the difference here is another family room. And I mean, I honestly, another bedroom rents for more, but this is a good extra square footage. So so it depends, but I'm interested. So Ireland, didn't we analyze your deal? Let me see here. No, we analyzed your deal. Yeah, see, we analyzed your deal, and then let me just tag him really quick. Check 27 min into part 2 of the live stream. What was last Thursday, the 22nd, 8/22/2019. That's where your reply is. All right, let's continue on. Let's do another deal. Let's see here. Deals. Deals. Here we are. Ben, can we please analyze this deal? Let's do it, Ben. Ben N. Ben N, not Ben H. I feel like this is like Bachelorette. Ben H, Ben N. All right, analyzing your deal, 40 min in. Looking at a 5-unit deal near me. Rents are, let's see what you got here. You mean 60,000? Hold on. 600 and 670. Oh, okay, that's okay. I see what you're saying. All right, good. So we actually have rents here. So I like this. I like this. I love looking at the multifamily rents. So let's look at your deal first to see if this is a property we want to own. See, I always start with looking at, is this even a property I care about? Because if it's not, there's no point to not talking about analyzing. I'm talking about ownership. Like I'll see multifamily deals come up on the market, and I look at the location. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to own that. So then it doesn't like I'm not going to sit there and analyze the rents. What's the point? Okay, so let's see where we are. So this is in, Pennsylvania. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Pretty close to the water, which is kind of cool. Don't know much about the area here, but that's okay. That's what your agent's for. You're by the post office. A little bit mixed into this kind of commercial area here. Wow, actually very much mixed into the commercial area here. Look, you've got commercial behind you, to the side, across the street, pretty close to kind of the main area, the main market street here, the main drag. But yours is probably both of these buildings. Realistically, what is this? Is it the garage in the front? Oh, you're across an auto center. Not jazzed about that. Oh, but there's a pizzeria. I am jazzed about that. That I like. Right there. If I were living there. Oops, sorry. Wrong button for me. There we go. So that I like. Oh, what? There we go. So this is actually kind of cool. I mean, look at this. Is that a Subway right next door? Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's convenient. That's pretty cool. And this just seems to be an auto like sale lot, not like a renovation lot where they're constantly working on it. Okay, okay. So I'm not super offended. This honestly actually seems like it'd be kind of like a fun place to live. Quite frankly, like I mean, you're right there, right? That's cool. I like that. So let's keep looking at it here. Okay, pictures. So what do we got? 5 residential units. So the problem with 5 is you're going to go commercial financing on this. So you're going to be in the neighborhood of probably a 7-year fixed rate loan, which is fine. Okay, 2 units in the original building and 3 townhouses constructed in the 80s. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That you basically have much newer units in the back. Newer roofs. Good. Very good as well. All are month to month. All rents could potentially be raised. I like this. The problem is it went pending. I hope you got it because so far I really like this, Ben. But I don't think you did get it. So I'm a little bummed about that. We're gonna do we'll do some escrow analyses right now too. So let me just finish on this one though. Let's look at some more of the pictures here just for giggles. 7 pictures. That's cool. That's the original house. How cool. I like it. I mean, overall, initially I was turned off by the location, but this is something I would consider, especially with the ample amount of parking that you have. Kind of like you're not like fronting right to that busy street, and the unit mix is 2 bed, 2 bed, 2 bed, 2 bed, 2 bed. That's great. I mean, this is good. I like it. I'm bummed that it says it's pending. If you got it, definitely post in deal analysis because I like this so far. All right, let's keep going. Let's see here. Tyler Neal, what's up, man? All right. What else we got? I work at a garage door. I work at a garage door repair. New door is about 1,700, but a repair should be much less. Oh yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, so this particular garage door that I'm replacing for $1,700, because usually if I could get a basic cheap garage door that it's just like take the old one out, put the new one in, hook it up to the opener if we can. Great. Usually these are what, like 900 to 1,100 bucks for the cheap basic ones on a 2 car. This particular one is an oversized, and we have to do everything new. I mean, we're going from a broken spring to the newer, more modern system. So the spring actually speared through the garage door, like the garage door closed, and the spring speared it. So the garage door has a spring spear sticking out of it. It's actually kind of hilarious. I should have posted a picture on Instagram. Nobody got hurt. That's what happens sometimes with the older stuff. but that's okay. That's what the $200 a month is for. You never know when your garage door is going to get speared. Do you have any suggestions on how to secure loans from abroad? Well, I mean, I would, yeah. I mean, yours is Iceland, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I would do the same thing. Build your circles and consult your lenders and then shop around your circles. Follow the advice for shopping. Find those people that invest in real estate. I think it'll help you a lot. The $200 you talk about putting aside for repairs, you put that all in the same account. Usually, I like to have a different account for each property. Lately, I've gotten a little lazy and I've been using one account for a bunch of recent purchases, and I might. I'm so torn on this. I might actually go to the dark side and put them all into an LLC because I already paid for that. But I've been looking at it and I'm like, I kind of don't want to do it because I don't want to pay the LLC fees every single year. So I'm a little frustrated with the whole LLC world, and I think the limited liability is really a big sales pitch. So still a little bit jaded on that. Okay, let's keep going on here. Just open out. Okay, we looked at this. Let's see what else we got. Okay. So RC jumped on. I jumped on a fourplex in construction. Managed to get it before market. Ooh. Okay. Let's take a look at this. You got a fourplex for $368,000. Yeah, seems like every multifamily deal you've been looking at has been getting multiple offers. Yeah, no kidding. That seems to be that tends to be common. Okay, so this is, you said it's new construction, right? Because see, when I punch in the location, it's a little bit sort of out of more of kind of the city, right? You're kind of out here between a couple main drags, but I do like that you're relatively close to all of these stores and sources of entertainment or food or whatever. So that's good. And yeah, what I'd like to know for yours. So let me tag you really quick. RC responding around 27 men in. No, we're more than that in. We started this at 5. 47 men in. So seemed like an amazing deal considering every multi. Yeah, I would like to know more about this construction. It's in construction. Tell me more about that. Each unit is 2 bed, 2.5 bath, 1,000 square feet. I mean, I like that. I do like that. What's this thing going to be able to rent for, and what are market rents in the area? But initially, brand spanking new construction, that's good. Like if I was going to be able to buy multifamily new construction, I'd be open to that because it's a lot harder to get a cosmetic wedge on multifamily. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's good commentary here. Okay, RC, I'm seeing you reply, which is good. All right, now let's look at another deal here. So we've got a posted contract. Let's look at this contract, and we'll get back to some more deal analysis. So the next one here is in Columbus, Georgia, actually, not Ohio, 2349th Street. And this is a purchase for here, $81,000. $81,000 purchase, $1,000 earnest money, 14-day due diligence period, lead-based paint. Okay. All right. Only one agent. It's all right. So let's look this deal up if we can. This particular property is over here. So for your deal, let me tag you quickly here. M. Farrar responding around 50 men in. Okay. One sec. Jumping back over. Here we go. Columbus, Georgia. Okay, so here's a deal that you just posted. Zoom out over here. See, I like this. Look at the location. What do you notice? Like everything about this side, at least, right? Over on this left side here, it's all residential. It's all houses, school over there, park, very, very residential, with the exception of obviously the outskirts, which you've got the hospital right there, which is great. Possible source of tenants. Storage over here, not a big fan of being closer to the storage, but you've got Marriott over here. That's good. You've got a Lutheran church and some other commercial developments, apartment building here. Now, having an apartment building here, how large is this? This might be like a 50 unit or something like that. Okay, I'm not so worried about that. Okay, so I like this. Now, what is this? Let's see if we can Zillow this property and figure out what this is. So, and you paid for it. You paid $81,000 for it. Okay, $81,000, and your deal is here. Okay, so ignore this sort of like Zillow pre-foreclosure crap. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet. It looks pretty move-in ready. I mean, you almost don't have to do anything to this deal. I like that. I mean, it makes it convenient. I don't know how wedgy it's going to be, but I like that you don't have to do anything in some sense. So, okay. Mixed pricing. Definitely a mixed bag of pricing that I'm seeing so far, but I don't know for sure yet. Let's see what we got. So what we're looking for now is everything about probably under 1,250 square feet, because this is a 1,000 square foot property. So we don't want to go crazy here. And 12. It's not applying, is it? No. Okay, whatever. So I'm just going to scroll past here and try to find my smaller properties. Here's a place that sold on Johnson Drive. That was 1,200 square feet in 2018. Good. Here's a 1,200 square footer that sold for 80 grand. How did this 1,444 square footer only sell for 75,000? It seems like everything is going for somewhere around, that sort of, it's actually kind of scattered. You got a lot in the mid ones, the low ones, and then you got a few of these scattered around the 80K range. So the good news is I don't think you're overpaying. But looking at some, and yours is in better shape than this one that just sold in June. So this is good. Yours is in better shape than that one, but that was 1,300 square feet. Yours is only 1,000 square feet. So this one sold Halloween of 2018. A little bit worse shape, but 444 square feet more. This one sold in January. It's a 3-in-1, 267 square feet more. Yours is a little better, and this one sold for $80,000. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're overpaying for your deal, but I wouldn't necessarily say there's a massive wedge, mostly because it's listed as 1,000 square feet. Now, if the 1,000 square foot part is wrong, that's going to be a big change. But if it's 1,000 square feet, that's you're on the smaller end there. Okay, RC comes back and says construction was scheduled to be completed in mid-September, but has been pushed to the end of the month. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed back again. Any tips? Yeah, so usually what I just ask them to do is I ask them to pay your rate lock extension because your rate should be locked, and make sure they're paying to keep extending your lock. But otherwise, just roll with the punches. That's very, very common in new construction, as frustrating as it can be. All right, let's do another question or another deal here, and then what we'll do is, oh, Diego, man, you just posted your deal, didn't you? If you literally just posted, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to that. But we'll be back tomorrow, just so you know. Okay, another one. Yeah, I've got probably about 7 to go before I get to yours. Okay, so we did Ben's. Let's do Kevin's biggest. Yeah, and I will respond though to the questions here in the chat. LOL on name. Okay, I love this name. Kevin's biggest fan, CJ. Currently in escrow, 692. Congrats on escrow. Checking out your deal now at 55 min in. All right, let's see it together. We got a course member in escrow. Another one. It's like catching catching fish, like we're fishing. We got another one. All right, let's see what we got. So we got a pending sale, 19 days on the market. So it was a newer sale. And look at this. Without even looking at the satellite view, I like so far this. Look at that. Very residential. Cul-de-sac. Look at that lot. Wow. That lot is incredible. Yes. Beautiful. That's a very, very rare property right here for this particular neighborhood. Awesome. Charming as it can be. Perfect. Charming means wedge potential. Oh, yeah. Come on. These doors. Oh, perfect. Get some nice primer on those. Paint them. You can update these cabinets too. I mean, this is an original 1959 property here. This is awesome. I like this so much. Oh, good, good, good. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, you could glaze some of those tiles if you want. Don't go overboard on this remodel. But I really like this. The lot size is awesome. And you got it. Did you say you got it for full pop? 6. Okay, you had to go over a little bit. That's okay. You know, going over doesn't mean you got a bad deal. Let's see what your comps are in the neighborhood. Yeah, what was that square footage again? I'm going to pull it up one more time here. 1621. Okay, there's our deal. Zooming out. So here's our cul-de-sac. And we're going to try to draw something like that. All right, 1600. So we're going to go... I'm going to cast a little bit of a wider net on the square footage because your lot size is very unique and rare. Okay, this is a low sale at 610. Let me figure out what's going on with this one. 610 is a low sale in July. Somebody got the steal on this. No other pictures. That might be a throw up because just because somebody else got a good deal doesn't necessarily mean the values in the neighborhood are lower. Whoa, look at this comp. A 1,200 square foot comp sold for $680,000. Yours is like 500 square feet larger than this thing. Oh, it's just so like perfectly flipped. I mean, look at this. The new kitchen, the perfect wall colors, the perfect countertop, the perfect staging. So here's an example of what the higher end is going to pull for you, right? That's awesome. That's great. So with your square footage in that condition, if you turn your property into this condition, you probably got yourself a 700. I was going to say not 700. It's going to be higher than that. But let me keep looking at the comps before I speculate. Okay, here's another low sale. Hold on. I don't like this one. Yeah, 760, but that's also a large square footage. Huh. Ha 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 ha. 4-bed, 175. This one is similar square footage, but low sale. Oh, but it's super rough. Okay, another wedge here. So the problem, what I don't like, is we've now hit 2 comps that needed work, like yours, but they sold for like $80,000 less. Now I know you have the yard. The yard is a big plus. But I don't know how, if we could pull $80,000 in sale difference because of that yard. So my guess is that yours is probably going to be worth hanging my hat on this more remodeled property that we saw that sold for like $680. My assumption, without going too much further here, let me see if I can find it again. It doesn't matter. So my guess is your value without that lot would probably adjust in a nice kind of rental grade remodel. Doesn't have to be as crazy as that one. Would probably be worth somewhere around 730. Then, and I'm just doing solely a square footage adjustment there, minus taking some value for theirs being over improved. But we have to go with a little bit of a larger square footage adjustment because 1,180 or whatever that was is relatively small compared to your 16 plus. Now, we have to add in value for your lot. The fact that your lot is probably somewhere around 3,000 square feet larger than everybody else's, maybe 4,000 square feet, could be maybe another $30,000 to $40,000 of value. So that's why I was a little nervous initially when I saw we've got a spread between these other wedge deals and yours of about $70,000 to $80,000. That land is probably, in my opinion, going to be worth somewhere between $30,000 to $40,000. So I think your remodeled value rental grade could probably be somewhere around 775, something like that. So I do think you got a good deal. I would just be careful not to overspend on it. I'd rather see you spend less than spend too much on that one. But I do like that deal. It looks pretty exciting so far. Just when you do your inspections, you know, you I think they got a good price for it too. There's definitely some wedge left over, but with having those multiple offers, see what you can do to kind of grind down again if you can during escrow. But if not, you might not be able to because they could always potentially jump to another offer. So do a little bit researching and negotiating to really find out what you're up against there. So, Mark the Noob. So, there's this home. It was just remodeled according to Realtor.com. Has never had a newer roof, newer AC. I know it's not wedgy. The surrounding homes are 190, and this is listed for 215. Here's my plan. I'll use the VA no loan. Great option, by the way. No down payment, no closing costs. Responding to your queue at, what are we in? 101 in. Okay. Live in it with a roommate, King County, military presence, asking my advice, already pre-qualified with 215 being my cap. Let's look at it, because sometimes it makes sense, especially if you're going in VA, no money down, to jump in and control something rather than not control something. So, Mark the Noob, we're opening yours up. Yeah, that is true. JD makes a very good point. 0 down and being sort of at the top of the market is riskier because you're very subject to the market moving and throwing you upside down quickly. Having a military tenant pool is always great. I agree. Oh wow. Okay. Realtor is giving very different. Yeah, JD. So JD picked up on the fact that this house apparently has a history of having just sold, and it's apparently a flip. And apparently it was a quick flip too. Yeah, look at that. Sold for 105. Yikes. Yeah, and now it's listed for 210. So, a few things that bother me there. I know it's going to look nice, but it is a flip, so you're getting cosmetic work. I like that it has that new AC and the new roof for you though. That's good. That is good. They put the money into that. I would see, did they permit that work? And if they permitted that work, what other work did they do? And did they permit that work? How much money did they spend really on this renovation here? Because if they just did a quick, lipstick, and then you're paying top dollar for it, they're the ones that got the wedge, and you're the one solidifying the wedge for them. So this actually goes to show, here's a wedge deal that was on the market, a 3 and 2, 1,100 square feet, 105, right? And maybe $30,000-$40,000 into it, maybe $50,000. They're trying to sell it for 215. I wouldn't be so anxious to pay full price on this, especially with a price drop. I don't think there's a lot of attention on this. I would negotiate hard on this if I was going to go for this. Try to get that down as much as you can. So what else? Okay, let me come back to that one, Mark. Let me just see live questions here. So, okay. Look, Derek, if you're going to go through and do all the luxury vinyl plank, I would price out the difference between the carpet and the vinyl plank because it might only be a difference of a couple grand, and it's very in to just do the flooring everywhere now. Now that is if it's a single story. If you could separate upstairs and downstairs, yeah, I would just go carpet up and then the plank down. You're gonna live in it for a little bit. Perfect, perfect. The link to the water softener isn't working. Oh, okay. Let's fix that. You know what? I'll fix that after this stream. Okay. So good questions. Actually, you know what? Let me just do it right now. So let me just talk about that one, and we'll end on this one. What we're gonna do is, if I did not get to your deals today, keep in mind we're gonna be doing a deal analysis again tomorrow, and then what we're gonna do is we'll start with Mark's second question. Then we're gonna jump into I'm gonna write down really quick schedule for tomorrow. Mark's second deal, financial freedoms deal. And then we'll jump into JD's pictures. And then we have Brondon. Alonzo didn't put in the bid on the house that sold. Okay, so you're back. You got another one. Alzano, that'll be another one that we'll do tomorrow. Shajabat. And then I want to talk water softeners really quick here. Nian and John 1996 and John Pinkerton. Definites for tomorrow. And Dodger and Diego, I'm going to try to get to yours as well. I've got a little bit of catch up to do. So tomorrow we'll probably just go strictly down that deal analysis section, since we did our deal analysis escrows and we've answered a lot of questions here on the live. Tomorrow probably is just strictly deal analysis. I'm going to write that down, strictly. And I won't get so distracted on commercial property tomorrow. Deal analysis to get caught up. Good. Okay, perfect. So let's now look at water softeners. So remember, always use your lows for pros, and you can get these for a lot less. But what I usually like to do is I'll just buy these water softeners right here. I usually just get this 447 one. And if you use lows for pros, you could get it for like 398, I believe it is. And I have this delivered to the property, and then I have a plumber install it. So I let them deliver this, couple bags of salt, and the tenant is responsible for supplying salt after that. But yeah, I like this. To me, it's fine. You know, it doesn't have to be so crazy expensive. If the water softener loop's already there, you know, you can always replace it again in the future when you need to. Probably expect to pay, you know, $800 to $1,000 for a plumber, depending on how much work needs to be done there, assuming there's already a loop there. So there you have it, folks. Let's see if there are any other last minute questions here. Last minute questions. My realtor says we can't put contingencies in the offer letter since it is an as-is sale. Basically, if I back up, I mean that, Mark, I mean, I wouldn't be tempted to do that. Yeah, no, tell me more. I'll let me look at my calendar really quick for tomorrow. Mark, I don't necessarily like the sound of that. Especially if you're as a newer buyer, I don't know that I would go non-contingent unless my deposit was really small. The other option you can do is you could go with like a 3 or 4 day deposit window and then do your inspection really quick at the beginning. But that could still open you up to liabilities. You know, they could still sue you. So probably tomorrow, I would say we'll go with probably 4:30 tomorrow. So let's just go ahead and schedule it right now. Strictly deal analyses and live questions tomorrow, with heavy preference on getting through all of our deals. So that's going to be for 8/29. It's tomorrow. Yeah, I can't believe it's almost September already. So lots of damage, so I'm nervous. Brondon deal. Oh, I can't wait to look for that one then. So yeah, Mark. Okay, we will check it out tomorrow then. Yeah, lots of damage, so I'm nervous. Okay, so I'm gonna make a note also that Brondon. Oh yeah. Yours is like 4 down. Brondon's damage. Check that, and no contingency and non-contingent. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, folks. I'm looking forward to it. Tyler says, what do you recommend doing if a tenant has 1 person on the lease but 7 total people in a small 2-in-1 and they appear to be wearing out the property and the appliances? I don't allow other people to live in the property. Every adult person living there has to be on the lease. Otherwise, you get evicted. You know, like it's the only that doesn't work. You know, that's subleasing. You know, everybody's spiffing them a couple $100 to live there or whatever. Get the heck out. If I lease to 1 person, they're there. If I lease to a couple and 2 children, those are the only people I expect to be there. If other people are living there, they're breaking the contract. Not a fan of that. Yeah, this month has flown by. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, in the meantime, enjoy and good deal hunting out there.